That was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
My name is Asamahle. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Langa High School.
My name is Livia. I'm 18 years old and I'm from Rosendalsgymnasiet in Sweden.
Hi, my name is Lita. My surname is Makanda. I'm doing grade 12 here in Langa High and I'm 17 years old.
My name is Rahma. I'm 18 years old and I go to Rosendalsgymnasiet in Sweden.
My name is Nulu Kolo. I'm from Langa High and I'm 18 years old.
My name is Banele. I'm 17 years old. I'm doing grade 12 here in Langa High.
My name is Alva. I'm 18 years old and goes to Rosendalsgymnasiet in Uppsala in Sweden.
I'm Fundiswa Mabani. I'm 17 and I go to Langa High School.
I'm Felix. I'm 18 years old and I go to Rosendalsgymnasiet in Uppsala.
I hear in Swedish people that they tour around a lot, and after they are finished with school, their last year in school, in high school, they don't know what they want to do.
There's no need for us to start to educate ourselves so that we can provide for a family in that kind of way. We have the opportunities to go abroad, to study somewhere else, or to go do some voluntary work outside Sweden. So it's not that kind of pressure for us to decide what we have to do in the rest, in the future.
Example, because we have made some interviews here and we've heard, we've asked you guys about what you want to do when you grow up. Everyone has a goal. Everyone knows what they want to do. It's very uncommon in Sweden. I kind of know what I want to do, and some people are like, I kind of know what I want to do. But it's like, here, when you talk to a 12-year-old, they're like, I want to be this, I want to be a social worker, I want to be a lawyer. That's because, I guess, because you are the first free generation born after apartheid. Yeah. Your parents or your grandparents weren't really allowed to study as whatever they wanted to be. They couldn't be whatever they wanted to be. And the same thing was with the children of immigrants. Their families had to give up their lives because of, for a better chance for their children. So you guys, you have a goal, you know what you want to do. And for people that are practically, just bathing in luxury, we don't really see the necessity to know what we want to do beforehand.
There is a lot of work in Sweden that is related to university studies. Yeah. If you have to in some way had a university studies, it could be that you want to work in a hospital. You have to have 5 years at least. But then you start when you're 22 or to 25, and I know someone who started studying at university when they were 32, because you can work without the university degree, but you need for the bigger jobs, for the jobs that earn you more money, and the jobs that are more regularly used, you have to have a degree.
You can't just become a lawyer with your high school diploma. No one is gonna hire you. It's just you have time to get into university.
And one thing that we've noticed here in South Africa, that we've been in 3 different schools. We've been here in Langa, in Garlandale and Pinelands. And the thing is we've asked the same questions, and about the jobs you've been more active in those questions, Livia, so you can tell, and you too, Rahma, the differences between that you want to become and why the white people colored at Pinelands, what they want to become and why. Can you tell a little bit, because I thought it was really interesting.
So I've heard a lot of answers like, I want to be a social worker, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be an accountant, even though I don't know how much accountant is for society. It's like somehow when I listen to the students at Langa, they look for a job or they look for something that will benefit themselves, their families, and the entire society. So it's not this kind of a selfish kind of way.
People in Pinelands generally seem to think that to open a business and to be an entrepreneur and that kind of stuff, that's a good way to be a good citizen and to make the country better.
So is there some kind of law that keeps youngsters or the youth in not getting access in alcohol and drugs?
Yeah, it's like we said, like Felix said, that you can't buy, you have to be 20
So
To
how
buy.
do they
You have to be 20
monitor that?
You have to be 20 to buy and 18 to drink, but you
Yeah.
can't drink in any age at the public places.
Yeah.
You have if you can drink in the bar and a restaurant and a nightclub when you're 18,
Yeah.
but you can't drink outside anywhere in.
Then you have to pay like.
I think it's a fee for 5 to 800 kroners if you're caught drinking
Yeah.
outside.
So that's like
600,000
rand.
It's very strictly controlled in Sweden. You can't just go and buy alcohol in your everyday supermarket. That's impossible. You have to go to a special store that the government has.
We talked with a person in Langa who said that it costs like 2 rand. And he knew like where to buy it and who bought it and blah 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 blah. It wasn't here at school, it was a person outside, but it was still like okay, can you in Sweden it's like I don't know the prices because I don't smoke, but it's like I know that one joint or something, it's what can it cost? 200 300 rand for one spliff or what you call. So it's much more expensive and people that's one reason that I think that many people or a lot of people do drugs, of course, and alcohol is a big issue because you start early, or we think it's early, like 14 years old.
So Estonia is kind of run by the government.
Yeah, it's owned by the government.
So isn't that closing doors for the people in the area that want to open up stores to sell alcohol?
Yeah,
As
it's not
maybe
allowed to open up stores to sell alcohol. You can have a restaurant, you can have a bar, but you can't have a store where you sell alcohol. It's illegal.
Every bar in Sweden had the rule that you can't take your alcohol with you outside because that's illegal. And if there was someone who would take, if you bought a beer on can and took it outside of the bar, that would be illegal for both the person and for the bar.
Okay, so I was talking to my younger sister, she's 14, and she told me about her friend. They were in the same class. She's like, yeah, she's smoking, and this one is smoking, that one is smoking. I'm like, they're 13. For me, it's really shocking because when we were growing up, it was not common that when we were 14, we weren't smoking, it's very weird. But like some years after that, it became more, open, you can get it anywhere, and somehow the kids are abusing cigarettes more than they're abusing alcohol and drugs.
So here in South Africa, majority of the people are homophobic. They do not accept gay people, because even a church, you'd find that a pastor is preaching about what do you call the fact that when a man and a man are sleeping together, and so we get exposed to that mindset, and because I believe that a pastor could never I trust my pastor that he could never lie.
If you're either gay, you're bi, you're transsexual, it's very open. We have this thing in summer. It's called the Pride Parade. It's really big. Yeah. It's the biggest one is in Stockholm, but there is some smaller around cities in Sweden. But the one in Stockholm is really, really big.
It's nowadays it's a must. Or of course, a gay couple can marry in the church. It's okay.
Okay, South Africans have not fully accepted the fact that a man and a man could actually be in love, and women and a woman could actually be in love.
Very open, but still, like you said, it's person. We still have discrimination going on, and there's still people who think it's wrong, and it's a quite new thing too. I mean, it's just for the last 10 or 20 years that it has become this open. Before that, it was a more, people thought it was wrong and it was a shame and that sort of thing. But we've had a very positive development on that issue.
There's a TV show or something where one of the main, leaders of the show, he's gay.
Oh, Hate to 99.
Yeah. So
Yes.
how does the society act towards him? In Sweden, no one would even care. It would be like, okay, he's gay, let's move on.
Here in South Africa, well, by culture, it is believed that it's wrong. It's not natural, if I should say. It's not, because no one would love the same sex, have an intimate relationship or whatsoever. So I would say the reason why they are hiding behind a point of culture, because they say culture this, culture that, and I think it's quite unreasonable, because who are we to judge? Because if you're judging a person because they love the same sex or whatsoever, even Fundi said something that about her trusting the pastor and all that stuff. Everyone can lie, even a pastor can lie. What makes her sure that the pastor is not lying? So those kind of things are kind of contradicting yet at the same time.
Gay people could never be accepted. Like majority of the people, since majority of the people are homophobic.
I wouldn't say that they are homophobic. It's just they like the way they act, not the things that they do, because they're really disgusting. Yeah, like really, we like the way they act. They're so funny and so whatever. They jumpy, they hyper all the time. They do these funny things and they talk funny.
People say that they're gay and all that, but why do you have to change the way you dress? Why do you have to dress like a woman when you a guy? Because like it's
but
majority of the people.
Talking about transsexuals.
There's a big difference between gay people, bisexual people, and transsexuals.
But transsexuals want to be the other sex, so they dress up in different clothes. They dress up. Yeah, so like they're not. Some of them can. You don't have to be. There's straight people that dress up in women's clothes as well.
When you want to be something else, you can. You can try to be anything you want in more open countries. Because if you want, like I said earlier, if I want to be American, I can try to be American, and as well as I could try to be a woman if I wanted to.
You don't know the person is gay or whatever, transsexual, and he or she is sitting next to you, and then you are the opposite sex, and then comes to you and say, actually you don't know that person, and you're chatting like normal person, or like you don't have this interest in this person, and that person will come to you and say, actually I love you, I want to date you, I want to date you. How would you feel like?
I wouldn't want to date another guy, but that's just my preference. I would, however, be complimented if someone wanted to date me. That's a compliment. That's not an offense.
Yeah, it's not an offense, but it's a compliment that okay, I look good, but do you look gay? No, you don't look gay.
But there's nothing that says you look gay. There's nothing that is. This is how a gay person looks. This is how a lesbian person. There's nothing like that. There's a person that can dress from top to toe like you, and he will be gay. So.
But
there's nothing. Would that mean that you're gay? No.
If a person is gay and wants to ask someone else out, it's like you can try. It's like you don't know if it's gay or not, and you don't have to pick from the people who look gay. It's like you don't
think about it like a guy, okay, and not okay, a guy, simple guy comes up to you and approaches you, and how would you feel? Like seriously speaking, don't just don't lie.
I wouldn't lie because
How would you feel?
I would feel at first I would feel surprised. Of course I would feel surprised that someone comes up to me and asks me out, because I'm not used to guys coming up to me and asking me out. I'm not used to that. For that matter, I'm not really used about anyone coming up and asking someone out, because that doesn't happen really that much.
No one asks you out feelings.
And I don't think it's ridiculous, because I know there's people who really want to. And if you have a deep wish to become something, you should be able to.
My dream is to be a somatologist.
My dream is a world where everyone is equal.
I would love to see the world being equal and free.
My dream is to see a world with peace and no borders.
My dream is becoming a president. Just to change the way the things that are like being just to be one and being united.
My dream is to have a free country that's peaceful and not judgmental.
My dream is to change some people's life so they can live better.
My dream is to be successful, travel, and also give back to my community.
My dream is to see the world as it is and to see a world where everyone is equal.